In this video, we are going to show you how to get started with RobotC's virtual worlds, and specifically for using the NXT version of the virtual worlds, because there are several other options. So on your desktop, you're going to look for the RobotC icon. Open that up. Don't worry about that if that happens. Okay, so there are a few things. Under Window, we look at Select Virtual World to Use, and we want Curriculum Companion. If you don't see this choice of Select Virtual World to Use, you're going to want to go over to the Robot option, which we're going to have to do anyway. But so first would be Select Virtual World to Use, and when we start, we're usually going to start with this Curriculum Companion. After that's selected, or if it's not selected, we're going to go to Robot, and there are a few things under the Robot menu that we want to look at. First, compiler target. Notice virtual worlds is selected. If we actually wanted to have a robot in class that drives around and things we could work on with our hands, we'd choose physical robot, but right now it's correct. It's selected virtual worlds. And under platform type, there's Lego Mindstorms NXT or Lego Mindstorms EV3 that we can choose from. We can also look down here, but we want NXT to be selected. Make sure that that is selected. After NXT is selected and in compiler target virtual worlds is selected, and as I said before, in selecting virtual world to use, Curriculum Companion is selected. The simplest way to get started is to open a sample program. So let's go to File, Open Sample Program, and let's start with Basic Movement. And we're going to open Basic Movement, and we have a few different things, but two kind of obvious ones are moving forward and moving in reverse. And so let's just open up moving forward. And when you are working with the sample programs, it's important that you immediately file and save as, and then save this program to somewhere other than, notice this is in the RobotC development environment folder. We don't want to save it there. I'm going to go to my documents and save it in my my robotics folder, and this is NXT. Doesn't matter what you call it, but creating a folder, maybe naming it robotics and maybe naming it NXT, since that's the robot we're going to use, that could be helpful. Fine, but we don't want to leave it in that original folder, because if we make changes to this program, and let's say we make a mistake, then this original program that will work, because CMU made this and it's for RobotC, but if you make a mistake and you save it, then it won't work anymore and you can't go back. You won't have that. So it's important to save this to a new folder. All right, so now I'm going to, everything in green, there's all this green code. Those are called comments. They're important, but they don't actually tell the robot to do anything. They just tell you about the program. So I'm going to delete some of this to make it a little bit more standard. You can ignore this pragma stuff at the top. We'll learn more about that later. Task main also doesn't do anything. It simply tells the robot that what follows is the main program. Wait is a delay mechanism. In this case, wait 1 millisecond, and then 2000 means 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds. And so this is going to say, don't do anything for 2 seconds until the program starts. I'm going to delete that as well. And let's just talk about what this program actually would do. We've got a right motor and a left motor. And this is the power right now at 100% and 100% for the second one. If we wanted to change this to half speed, I could make that a 50 and go at 50% speed. If I wanted one of the motors to stop, I could make it 0 or both motors to stop. If I wanted to go backwards, I could say negative 25 or negative 100, whatever I might want to do. So let's just leave that at 100, full speed ahead. And the wait, just like before, although before it acted as a delay, this is going to be a duration. Wait 1 msec times 3,000 milliseconds or 3 seconds is to go forward for 3 seconds. Now, because up here in our compiler target, we have virtual worlds identified as the target, we're going to click compile, download, because I had selected under Window Curriculum Companion as the world to open, once I hit download to robot, that's what opened. Notice Curriculum Companion is here. Now, there are a few options here. Log into CS2N. If you create a username and a password, it will keep track of your progress. This isn't essential, but a good idea. For now, I'm going to log in locally and select Login as Guest. That way I do not need to create an account. But if you want to create an account, it's a very good idea. Login as Guest. And under robots, these are not the worlds, but the choices of different robots that you can have driving around. For the most part, this won't affect whether your program works or not, so you can kind of change that if you want, unless we say otherwise. But we will start with movement. These are the simplest set of challenges. And let's just look at Robo 500. And you can see up here, this is the course that we're going to be going on. We can look at the specification document down here, which will give you some information about what you need to do. To complete this challenge, the robot program the robot to complete 2 laps around the inner square of the course. The robot may use timing to accomplish this task. The lines along the path are there for sensor feedback. Driving over them does not cause you to fail the challenge. So your robot's going to start here, and it needs to make 2 laps around the board. Now, notice I can't see my virtual world anymore, but at the bottom of your screen, you should see this window. If I click on it, it brings back the virtual world. And so in order to actually try my program, I'm going to click Start Activity. And here there are a number of things that we'll get to later on, but this arrow or triangle will start the program. Oh, okay, I fell off the world. I can say try again, but I can also hit this to go back to the beginning. And if I want to go back to the different worlds and different tasks, I can click on my home menu, which goes back to the instructions. So that gets us started. In order to complete this activity, we'll go on to another tutorial.